Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about some of the seismic shifts that are occurring in our world of work. And the interesting thing about Generation Y is that they already compose 50% of the global workforce. And in 4 short years, they will compose 75% of the global workforce. We cannot deny anymore the significance of this generation and the impact they will have in our world of work. When baby boomers and Gen X talked to me about work-life balance, I then paused. I said, hold on, could you give me your definition of work-life balance? What do you mean when you say work-life balance in your context? And the answer I most got was something around the idea of work-life balance for them is a when statement. In other words, it has to do with how many hours you work. When I asked Gen Y, what do you mean when you say work-life balance in your context? What they told me is it's really a where statement. In other words, technology allows me to work anywhere, anytime. So really, when they're saying work-life balance, what they're rejecting is FaceTime culture. The idea that work can only happen in the office between this time and that time, Sunday to Thursday. Many of you know what a side hustle is, right? It's the things people do on the side outside of work. And you know what? Too often companies sort of discourage it. Why? If those employees are doing those things on their own time, they're developing entrepreneurial skills, leadership skills, they're learning how to contact and engage new customers. These are all hugely important skills and capabilities that they might be getting more of in their side hustle than they're getting at work. And if you've done your math and you've added up all those figures, only 1% said it was about the financial worth of the business. Does that scare you? Princeton University, they did a survey, a study where they showed that more than 85% of young people say the number one thing they're looking for in a job is meaning, a sense of purpose. We have to be more human-centric in our perspective toward our employees, but also to our corporate role in society, because we do have an engagement issue in the world. So this is not regionally specific. If this is a Gallup poll, you probably are familiar with the famous Gallup, who every other year they conduct a survey of hundreds of thousands of employees in hundreds of different industries in almost every country in the world, asking, are you engaged at work, not engaged, or actively disengaged? And look at the result from the last survey. Only 13% of global employees say they are engaged at work. 63% say they're not engaged, and a whopping 24% say they are actively disengaged. In other words, they would sabotage their company given half a chance. Like, they hate working for those companies. The problem then is, in business, we don't actually encourage agency if we're really honest with ourselves. We still believe that management is simply telling people what to do. Human resources, hate that word, implies we're just assets. We're like this pen. You know what? It's even worse than that, because any of you who are accountants know in the balance sheet of our companies, when your company completes its annual balance sheet, this pen is owned by your company, this is an asset. If I'm an employee of your company, I am a liability. We have to rethink the very definition of management. I think that much of many of the paradigms that we thought that we held that were still true today about work, life, careers, work life, how we wish to be led, what we expect of our leaders, has changed fundamentally. And yet, business has not evolved to meet those shifts.